sẽ là rong xét tại tận này sẽ là tôi được kết hợp với nó cũng như phạt nhiều và sẵn qua nó nó bên mấy thứ khoa học sang hàng được của xã này nào giờ tôi nó cũng thản nó này bây ít thứ lúa và mỗi lúc bằng sự lo cơn gạo lê thì này thứ hùng gạo nhớ trò tới chờ mi cả nhớ đầu luôn này là sang này nào tận này là Minneapolis Central thằng này sẽ là bắt này là giải tờ Tou Saiko nhớ rằng Tou
nhớ rằng thu lăng thật tu nhớ rằng nó bây giờ đó nhớ họ điệp tới nó theo cho phong như nhớ tới cho Australia cũng bây giờ tu Saiko li cũng giờ tu giờ hay cho bao hoa hip hop là rap cho trong li bao hoa tức là cho trong li chỉ tua họ mình cả tới tua vậy cái chỉ ta lên đó cũng sẽ hay để ra gì vì hay để giờ cũng chỉ hay lu mong mình là mong lần đầu cái ra gì cũng giờ tu lúa lo ít thứ mình nhớ chỉ cho hay ít lo lu mong giờ để chỉ cái này cũng chỉ sponsor cũng bao tô na bao tới tô rồi mình cả tới cái thằng đó cũng chỉ mua đi cổ trâu xong cổ xa xong cái cũng nên chờ long cũng bao giờ đan nè cái lim long cũng bao giờ đan nè cái cũng tiêu li cỡ hai lồng mong rủ to cái cũng sáng là gì giờ cũng chỉ hai lồng mong lần đầu
cái giờ sáng lo cái nhà khoa bí cần tới cỡ lồng mong có thầu có mua tiếng mua nó nhung cho li cổ trâu của cha chồng ta chẳng được sao cũng rong khen cầu giờ cho li cũng bao mà giờ thì cái gì tu luôn là hay tiền nàoนี่นะเนี่ยฮู้ไอ้ฮิปฮอปอย่าฮิปฮอปนะจีเขาจะฮู้เก้าแต่ที่มันก็จังเก้านะก็ฮู้ในโรงนี่เขาจะยงเก้าทั่วไปอย่าก็ฮู้ในโรงก็ฝั่งเตาอย่าก็จังเก้าอย่าเจ้าว่านี่เนาะก็ชาวเจ้ามงรุ่นนั่งมงกังกือเต้นแต่ซื้อไปย่อไอ้ก็เคมันจีชาโอ้จะก็หาไซเราฮู้จังเก้าตรงนี้เนาะ
我古因啥的要古今要噶而且人家噶都是要古起包早忙叫根据这古起包啥早古啥有我的是亚当的也里莫注意莫叫高莫平时呢呀这个要古个照顾叫 history 古叫根据这叫 culture 这个这里包早的古要忙这古莫 purpose motivate 个我让等等so yeah I think about a lot about my history and my culture and being that I'm in the United States 去同的北京呀 Syracuse New York 也去全部梦一种啊也古这里啥的古啥个这古叫 history 这古 cultural identity
là cho họ để cũng long thầu cũng chỉ cái cũng mà khó và cho của ý để của rong sang mà thế cho họ để có cái ý tôi luôn để cái tôi muốn câu tới mà có rồi cái chú cho lầu là lon cho có ok này giờ rồi cái tôi giờ tôi cho và này là chú cho lầu là thế có họ giờ tôi chia thêm cái sẽ là sinh chi như họ còn đúng ra là bây giờ còn nó có biến chỉ sao còn giờ ít họ thì để của only lu mi cả cũng bỏ tôi để nhiều very interesting là thiên nhiều nhiều ở đó có sao bông tàu sẽ còn là có biến chỉ sao
yeah vì thế của sao thế họ tới khi mi cả nó về cũng cái ít cho chú chi yeah, hip hop, spoken word, poetry, show writings, and creative writing, and Google 这的古堡这还古切，古啥的古去说人家写古切了海里家了窝里家了的我到这。เป็นมองรู้ opportunity ไปเชื่อเดี๋ยวMinnesota เป็นมองรู้ opportunity to ชีกง collaborate นะอีตัวมอง artists เราอยู่ว่ารู้ showcase so for the community okay so this is a showcase รู้กงหอหัว Pangea World Theater จะเลย showcase จะมอง artists จะมองแล้วจะว่าจุจีจะเลยน้องไปเชื่อได้要个啥ชีกง collaborate นะอีตัวมอง artist 这个有ชีกง collaborate นะ领导okay你们都注意是讲 collaborate 的古堡vì thế古啥子的cho hip hop thế cho spoken word của ta chỉ nó từ有一个 connection อีขออย่างนี้ก็ให้ชอconnect to จะเราให้กูเทียจะให้ป้าหัวเจกู I saw that connection and so กูเตลีนุ่งกูปอเตะก่อนนึกประกาศชี้กองให้นึกจะกูเทียนะกูจะป้าหัวมีกาhip hop กูปอให้เตะเจกูปอเตะกูเตะก็แค่กูขอตื่นก็แค่กูขอเชื่อยังขอตื่นเจกูมาย้อนเดอให้กูจะกูเสียนะก็
alright okay chịพูดยังเดี๋ยวเคพูดยังเชียเดี๋ยวอย่าเอาเลยให้เราเชื่อตัวเขาแต่ไปจะเรามาแล้วมันจิตสมวนอยู่หรอแล้วชีใช้ก็พูดมาว่ากูแต่เนื้อนี้ตัวมันเป็นสิ่งล่อกันเนื้อจิตสมวนกันนะอย่า
yes it's true
เขาก็เขาหรือนับพวกเราได้อย่าว่าก็เกิดตอนเด็กพวกแค่ก็นั่นก็เกิดตัวได้จีเทียโอ้ก็ปอปานี่นะเขาแค่โดยจะตัวเทียเช่เดียจะเกี่ยวยุ่งตัวจะเล่านะเช่เดียยังมูจะหาว่าชีสอยู่เกิดตอนเตาจานเตายานแต่จะเล่าแล้วนะก็แค่เช่ก็เกิดตัวจีนก็พวกเราเทีย
yeah so this is where I might need you to help translate it's harder to explain in mom
ก็ให้รู้ไม่กล้าต้องมาเพราะนั่นนะเขาจะให้ตกซะก่อนจะล้วนนะจะก็ให้รู้ไม่กล้าต้องที่ชี้เนี่ย okay
well first I'll just start off by saying it is really important to understand and learn from our elders or to learn from the elders of our community. They have so much wisdom, so much knowledge. So thọ cú chỉ còn collaborate nó cú bao giờ cú cờ đâu yeah. So for one cú cờ tiền cú bao nu chỉ một opportunity to mu cờ nhận đỡ thế tự đỡ thế shown đỡ and so she never learned how to read and write and so tan thọ nu cho cứ chia nu cờ nu memorize
nu cho sẵn tất
nu show nu thế li ô tạo hải tạo chế chỉ tạo lên đó nu chơi improvise chơi freestyle họ luôn máu hả lý cha
not sure keep talking
không nhớ cái mỗi chủ yếu chỉ là hai cái sự cái nu chỉ là ít cho poetry nu memorize ý là cái so for me it was really interesting interesting that my grandma knew how to memorize but she never learned how to read or write
right.
And then
đó họ có thể biết chấm món mà trong họ thì lia chụp phổ lâu nó mà lên dê hàng những món hàng dê hàng trong họ thì là hai cái sự chỉ là sầu là lúc là những mua thì chỉ lựa cho lợi thì người rhyming ta nè người là shit chùa ta nè thì có thể biết mua chỉ cứ xe quý cho thì rong cân cầu thì là sơn hay là những mua hay ti đi chả tao ta thế gì có thể tiểu có bao cái cái thì cái họ muốn để là chùa nó có khó thế thì với khó thì chỉ cua thì chỉ chia là chùa cái nào là chỉ cua giờ tôi thấy họ rong cân cầu cho sẽ là tao sai thế nè
Yep.
Em có đến đấy giờ thì chỉ có phone này để tư ở hậu được ok tông để buổi trả nè.
Li cầu sông, chỉ còn tôi diễn giải ok cầu sông.
Tôi cầu sông nó bây chỉ cũng nói nó có phone có写trên đấy nó bây
Yeah, li thầu sông áp phá cầu xa, áp phá cầu gì.
Chỉ tại sao nó chỉ mua phone này chỉ mà nó có bộ một thiên lý tu lần trước có tôi thì tôi khu lên đó là có tại sao nó có hùng cao cái lần xem mà.
Tại sao nó khu cuối lên thì chỉ cú sa để tận đây nó chỉ cú sa ôi cho program mu chỉ còn nó cho lâu thế ôi cho program mu ba you know help other people you know to ít cho mỗi cho tu thiên sai rồi sa chỉ còn collaborate or sa cờ cho đa nên đã là cho lâu cho bao thế giờ hiện tại thế有gì that maybe create a program so they have an opportunity to collaborate with their elders. I think
right. So this is like some of your project in the future, isn't it? Yeah. Take us through a couple of years ago you came to Australia, right? You came to Australia and có tới chiều bây giờ cái tiếng Anh nhất thì tới chiều Australia nó thì các cô tôi như là hùng câu được bên một tại theo rồi hay được bên share được bên mình share cái họ experience cái tôi chỉ cái tiếng Anh nhất tới chiều Australia rồi trả thế cái fan thì nó nào
Yeah, I think, wow, so many memories. So I'll just start off by saying I had an opportunity to travel to Australia because I had a leadership fellowship. Okay, so it's called the Bush Foundation. So it gave me the opportunity to travel and meet Hmong people from different parts of the world, and Australia was one of the countries that I really wanted to visit.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Anthony Vahua, the artist. He's from Brisbane or Cairns.
Can't.
Yeah, but he goes to school in Brisbane. But yeah, his family is from Cairns, and so he visited the United States because we brought him over to Minnesota to do a mural as an artist because he's a visual artist. He paints, and then that's when I asked Anthony Vahua, like, if he could connect me to Hmong people in Australia, because I was planning to visit Australia and do some workshops and some performances. And so that's when he gave me the information for to connect to many people in Australia, like Tou Saiko, and then a few other people, many other people, I should say, and in Melbourne, Brisbane, and Cairns, and those were the three places I visited: is Melbourne, Brisbane, and Cairns. Yeah.
So some of the workshop that did you? I think you did a few workshop with the Dave, isn't it, over here when you were in Melbourne and Brisbane and Cairns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Share with us some of the workshop that you and that you were working with them.
Well, here in the United States, I teach too. I don't just perform my spoken word and hip hop. I go into schools. I help students write their stories, and I help them learn how to perform too. And so I've been doing that for like 15 years in the United States. And I wanted to share that my knowledge with Hmong people in other parts of the world. And so that's why I set up workshops in Melbourne, and then in Brisbane with Kevin Fong Lee, and then in Cairns with Vu Kong. And so, is it Kong Vu or Vu Kong? I keep getting
either way.
Vu Kong. Oh, okay. And so so I set up workshops, and then all they had to do is find a space and then find young people. And it's not just for young people, but for anyone that wants to be creative and is open to writing their stories. Mm-hmm. So we did those workshops in 3 different places. And it was a really good experience. It was very positive. I got to really understand the story of growing up here in Australia from the Hmong.
And I think you perform at the Hmong Australian Festival. To listen to the music festival as well, right? And that's when we get to know you.
Yeah, that was really fun. Thank you for inviting me. I was really excited to perform for the Hmong Australia Festival. I've heard about it, so I will say it's really good promotion. Is it Arvin? Wait, Alvin?
Austin?
Austin, yeah, Austin. Very good promotion by Austin, because I already knew about the Hmong Australia Festival year before. And I already contacted and said, one day I will be there. I want to perform at the festival. And so I'm really excited that it happened. And so I think it was very welcoming for the Hmong. Like, Justin picked me up. And I think Melbourne, it really reminded me of Minneapolis.
In many ways. Okay. In what way? It's a similar.
Yeah, when I went into the city, I think, because there's a lot of, like, how there's the murals, like the on the walls, the graffiti murals, and then there was a lot of diversity and arts and coffee shops, and so it reminded me of a Minneapolis type feel. Now, there's a lot of differences too, but I'm just saying that part of it reminded me of Minneapolis.
So you probably went through all the alleys and where all the artworks in the small alleys in the city. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now and then you went to you said you went to Asia as well to do some workshop as well, isn't it? After Australia, and then you left for is that Thailand or Vietnam?
Oh, I went to. Well, I went to Vietnam first, and then I went to China. But before, could I actually say something about Brisbane?
Yeah, okay.
Real quick, because I don't want to forget. I think Brisbane was really nice too. Like, I know for those that don't know about Australia, there is a lot of Asian people in Australia from all over the world, many from China, but so many Asian people. And when I went to Brisbane, there was areas where it's just Asian restaurants all over, so many Asian people in restaurants. And I thought that was really interesting. And I really loved the palm trees and the dragon fruit gardens that they had there. And it was really beautiful in Brisbane. It reminded me of California for some reason.
Right.
And then Cairns was so interesting because they say they go to Cairns because it reminds them of Southeast Asia, because they're surrounded by mountains. And I saw that they couldn't build buildings that were too high because they didn't want those buildings to block the mountain ranges because they're so beautiful. And because I have been to Southeast Asia, like in Thailand, I did feel that way. Like, wow, it feels like Asia here. And that's where a lot of as you know, Hmong farmers, they went, or Hmong people that wanted to farm, they went to Cairns.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. And that's where that's where I saw a lot of the crocodiles too, because they say crocodiles are in Australia, but crocodiles aren't everywhere, but definitely in Cairns.
Wow.
That's where you will be most closest to the crocodiles and other dangerous animals.
Okay. Yeah. Now back into your music now. You I think you just released your new album, is that right?
Yeah.
Pem Nrog. Is it Pem Nrog? Is it one of the songs, or is it a new album that you just released?
Oh, it's still in progress. The album is called Diete Conte.
So that song is just one of the song in that album, or Pem Nrog?
Pem Nrog is one of the songs. Diete Conte is one of the songs. Yeah.
All right, so it hasn't released yet, because I was just looking through YouTube and then I saw that. I thought that. So you're currently working on it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I still have actually 5 songs that I'm working on. So I plan to release it by hopefully in the next few months. It's been a long work in progress. Now, this goes along with my story, because when I was doing hip hop, I only did it in English for 15 years. But then I want to challenge myself, because, when I visit the Hmong people in Thailand, and I wanted them to hear my message, what I wanted to say. And then that's when I wanted to write lyrics in Hmong only. And so the last few years, I challenged myself to write lyrics in Hmong.
So from most of the song, right? Like có chừng có uốn thâu lọt nó nè, ra từ ra qua cái sai tiền này nó qua cái huề nâng bao cái chả.
Well,
I know it might be so many of them, but the one that people set up here, then I said, I know that's belong to Tuli.
I don't know. Well, this is what I think. I think Diete Conte, the reason why people know that song is that's the song I perform everywhere I go around the world. I perform Diete Conte, and it's about how Hmong people live in right? So I feel it's important that we think about how we are a diaspora, that we live around the world. And so that's why I write that song. So I feel around the world, everywhere I visit, that's a song people will know me for. But the song that I think has the most popularity and views is Luneng Pandao. And Luneng Pandao is about to honor to honor the Hmong women in our life, our mothers, grandmothers, sisters, daughters. Yes.
Now take us to like that song what is the message in that? What are you trying, what is the message that you're trying to tell people?
Well, just that since Hmong live in different countries around the world, that we should join together. We should collaborate. We should get to know each other. So we should. That's why I said "Gong Te Hong Diet Day," and what that just means is just come together and connect. And I think that Hmong people, we always think about wanting our own country, and I know that's a very controversial topic, but I think that since we don't have one right now, we should also appreciate that we live in many different countries, and we should make an effort to get to know each other and visit each other when it's safe again. And I think that's important to learn about each other's stories. So that's why I wrote that song, and I wrote it when I was in a village in Thailand on a mountain. That's when I wrote the song.
All right, that must be something that inspired you to write the song, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I heard that you're starting to write poem at a very young age. Is that right? At 13, 14 when you started to the show
Yeah. So I think when I was younger, I wrote stories, just stories, like third grade. So I would say like around 8, 9 years old, I write stories. But then it wasn't until I was in, I would say, high school. So for us, high school around 15 years old, that I started to write poetry and music lyrics. So it's a little bit later. So there's a between writing stories and then writing poetry, I would say, 15 years old.
Yeah. So when do you start to write song then?
Around 15, 16. And so, you want me to tell you the story?
Because this is the thing that I think, like we know that you are, Tuli, you are hip hop, but I just kind of we don't know who is really Tuli, right? So that would be good if you can share with us some of the your earlier, your early years.
And I think this is really relevant because I'm sure some people have this experience all over the world, but when you grow up and you are a new immigrant or refugee and you live in a different country and you grow up there as a child, you will maybe face discrimination. You may face racism. And it's relevant now just because of COVID-19. Many Asian people are facing racism. But back then, when you are a new immigrant and refugee, you may face some discrimination, right? And so for me, I started writing stories about that. At first, I don't understand why, people hate others because they look different, right? But as I grew older, I started writing my story. And when I was more like 13, 14, I wrote a story about when I was in, 8, 9 years old. And someone told me I need to go back to my own country, and I was still a little kid. So I read the story to the class, and, what they said was, some of the students said, I have the same experience as you. Maybe some of the Asian students, they said, hey, I have the same experience as you. And then some of the other students that were white or black, they said, oh, now I understand your experience. I understand your story more. And I thought that was really important to tell our story.
So how you express yourself, isn't it, back then? Yeah. And I think that I really why do you choose hip hop? Not like string, not other like modern music.
Yeah, I think it's just because I love hip hop. Because I listen to back then it was like Tupac Shakur, or I listened to Public Enemy, or different artists really inspired me, because even though they were Black, they were talking about their own story and their own community. So for me, when we start doing hip hop, they say, "Why do you right?" But for me, I think about it as this is an art form that they do, and now I'm gonna do this art form to represent my people and my culture.
Right.
And so then I found out that so we have our poetry already too. So it's not so different, because it's like you said, like have the words rhyme with each other in a way that's very interesting and people like to hear. So that's the way.
Are you the first Hmong hip hop like singer?
In you talking about ever or no?
Oh, I don't know, because you're the first one that I come across. So, and then later on, like they have so many that follow your step. But I think you must be the first one.
No.
No?
Well, I was not the first one, because there were groups before me, like STX. Now STX, they're actually from France, but they lay among
Okay. What is that?
STX.
Okay, right. Cho nên giờ là hip hop nhá, tới chỉ tôi có cái tết tôi nó là.
And then so then they're the first to release an album that's rap music. And then there was Rare, which they're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then after that, then me and my brother, Vang, he and I collaborate in a group called Delicious Venom. And actually, when you ask me what's the most well-known song, there's a song we did called 30-Year Secret, me and Vang. And I think that's our most popular song.
What is the name of the song?
30-Year Secret.
Oh, 30 years. Oh, right. Okay. Because I think I noticed you when you sang that song, Mong You Chut Lu Mong. Isn't that you were part of the
Yama?
Yeah, isn't that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a part of that collaboration. It was a collaboration with many different Hmong artists.
Yeah, but somehow I think you were the one that the most standing out, the most. So that's I don't know. It could be your rapping, I don't know, but
I think.
I remember you only.
You know why? I think everyone did great, because that was a collaboration from artists all over the country. But I think because I was the beginning, I was the first person to start the song. And so I think that's what really makes it memorable. So thank you.
All right. That was really good. Now, so what is your next project in our past? So the container is going to be released soon in the future. So when can we expect to, like, your fan, right, can expect it to have the new albums?
I would say September would be good, like August, September, because this summer, in the United States, it's summer, and the next few months, we're going to be doing just recording the album and trying to finish it. And I plan to release it online, of course, so people will get to hear it. And there will be about 10 songs. And I'm hoping that there will be we're planning to do a few videos too. And so they could definitely check it out on my Facebook page.
Yeah. So what is next for Tuli after that?
Yeah. So I have a few different things that I really am looking forward to doing. One is my grandmother, since she passed away, I've been writing a book about our collaboration together.
All right.
And it's a book, a memoir, they call it. And it's just talking about our experience performing together. Because we perform all over the United States. We performed in Thailand. And I feel like there's a lot of really interesting stories. And I think it can inspire more generation to work with their grandma and grandpa in the future. And so this book is called My Grandma Can Freestyle. So that book is still in the works. And I hope to write screenplays, like scripts for films and movies in the future. There's a lot of great directors and videographers but for me, I want to write the stories that they can film in the future.
What kind of story are you planning? Like you have in your head? What kind of story? If you can share with us.
No, I think one story that really inspires me is the story of Frogtown. So Frogtown is a neighborhood in St. Paul. They call it Zhaka, but it is
what's that genre?
Zhaka, Frogtown.
Frog.
And so the reason why it's so interesting, if you ever for anyone that has ever been to St. Paul, Minnesota, the one area you go to for Asian restaurants and markets is Frogtown. And it was a very, very successful business district area. And at one time, though, there was a lot of, there has been a lot of poverty, violence, a lot of prostitution that used to happen in that neighborhood.
It was a ghetto, isn't it? That's what that's a lot of But
now, you heard about it? You heard about it? Yeah.
University Street, isn't it?
University Avenue. Yeah. So it's really well known. And since the not just Hmong people, but after the Vietnam War, all these immigrants and refugees from Southeast Asia, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Lao, Hmong, Thai, they came and lived there, and then they started buying the buildings, and then they started making it become businesses that started to flourish and become successful. And then now it's they pushed out a lot of those issues, and I'm not saying it's perfect. There's still some issues, but now it's a flourishing business district that people know. The identity of the neighborhood now is known as this.
Yeah. So you plan to do like a story about this, what's that called? Frogtown.
Zhaka.
Right. All right. This is the first time that I heard about the name of Zhakato. I've been to the USA for a few times, but the first time I remember that.
I think there's some Hmong people that do.
Okay, now I think our time is running out now. What would be the one message that you want to give it to your fans just before we close out?
Well, I would say a few things. One is definitely please support my music, but please support music and arts, because I feel like arts has been very inspirational for us, even during this time, like the Hil Hmong concert, for example, or the Project Chandu or the Chat concert. I feel like it can be very healing. So it's not just entertainment, but for me, it's a message. It's an opportunity to deliver a message. So I would say definitely support the artists and support people that want to do the arts. Now, in saying that, I also feel that it's important to think about career, have dreams, but then also have ambitions to have a really solid foundation for your futures, I would say. And so I would say it's a good combination of achieving what you always wanted to do, but still like being able to take care of your family at the same time. And it's a good balance. It's a balance that I've learned in my life, to go for my dreams, but then make sure I can take care of, I'm married now with me and my wife. And I think that's part of the journey. I really encourage people to continue to be creative, though. Even whether you're young or whether you are older, it's all about making the time and the opportunity in the future. And I would encourage you to get to know your elders and work with really learn their stories, because those stories are, it's all in their experience, in their mind, and please document them and continue telling their stories. And that's it for me. It's really important. And Chitalinda, I really just want to say, my website is Tou Saiko Unites. I'll send you the link, but TouSaikUnites.com or Tou Saiko Unites on Facebook. So that's a way to continue to follow my music and my poetry and my projects.
Thank you so much. 我想到这话呢，那个写文那个都多头把别谈呢，you know 我的个叫呢那个山路呢要把呢那我都被จะรวยอ่ะแต่ก็แล้วฮะที่ลำนุ่งเนี่ยนะว่าจะเราให้กูเทียเทียที่ลำนุ่งจะเรารู้เทียแต่ขอคณะกูปอตที่เขาจงขึ้นกันไว้我想到ก็จะนะ okay thank you so much for your time, right? I know that you are such a busy man, but I really appreciate and hope to see you you know in the future you back to Australia, right, to see us.
Yes.
Okay, right.
I want to visit. I tell my wife about Australia all the time, and that we want to. So yes, I want to come back and visit. I'm just letting you know. I plan to, especially after my album's done. That would be a great opportunity to visit, and after COVID-19 is calm. And I just want to say I'm a big fan of your show. I do follow your shows. And I appreciate that you're creating all this content for us to watch and enjoy.
Thank you.
NiamVammab 叫 show 把 subscribe 把share 你叫 show 你莫是错呀叫 show 古年interview 一叫 very interesting artist 贴叫那个你好你对那 very interesting 嘅古啥个 talk 呢把 subscribe 把 share 贴把抄叫 show 呢我叫呢